I realized one etiquette of mine was that you can't be taller than me and be trick-or-treating unless you're with someone else who's younger. So what I like to do, I live in a house where there's a gate that's in front of the door. So when those types come and they insist on having candy, I get right behind the gate with my bowl and say, okay, you have 3 seconds to grab as much as you can, and then I make it just out of their reach. So they're grabbing, trying to get as much as they can, and it makes for great, great fun. Thank you very much.
Excuse me, my tire is falling apart. Thank you all for coming today. I really appreciate it. I know we have a busy schedule and some of us have elsewhere to be. So thank you for coming. We had 2 speeches today, and so we'll have 2 evaluators. Our first evaluator is going to be Ryan Lewis for Alice Walkup.
First, I want to thank Alice for your fantastic performance today. That was really special, so really appreciate it. We've had some of these past events, sometimes the speeches aren't so spooky, so. So I want to, I guess let's just go back over sort of what the objectives were. So the objective, according to the book, is to understand the difference between poetry and prose, to recognize how poets use imagery, rhythm, meter, cadence, and rhyme to convey the meanings and emotions of their poetry, and to apply vocal techniques that will aid in the effectiveness of the reading. So one of the pieces of feedback I think you've given to yourself many times is that you haven't moved around very much. And I thought this speech was a fantastic example of physicality. I mean, your face was conveying a lot. You were moving to convey the speaker. You were moving around here to convey different parts of the poem. You were gesturing towards the raven. I mean, it was just a bravado performance. I mean, just really brought out the dramatic part of you. Not that we didn't know this was there, but just the last couple of speeches, I think Toastmasters didn't give you the latitude to pursue that. So I thought that was fantastic. Clearly, you understood the poem very well. And this is a poem I thought I knew, but clearly I need to listen to it again and again and just really take it in. There was a lot going on there, which is maybe the one area where I wish there had been more time. That you could have gone a little bit slower. I just could, there was just so much going on in that poem, and so I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to reread it, or maybe I was just too focused on trying to write stuff down. But I mean, I really thought that the physicality was just fantastic. And what else? It wasn't sing-songy. Apparently this is something that people need to avoid when doing poems. You don't want to be sing-songy, so I didn't think it was sing-songy. Great cadence, really appropriate eye contact. You were reading it, but I mean, you were sort of living it. I mean, you kind of took it on. I thought that was fantastic. Yeah, so I think just overall, just a really great poem and great performance, and we really appreciate you doing this for us and sharing that. And thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Great job, thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Our next evaluator for Davenlau is going to be Mallory. So come on up. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Davin, thank you so much for sharing that spooky speech with us, very appropriate for today, and very captivating also. The purpose of your speech was the storytelling elective, and I really thought you nailed the storytelling aspect of the speech. There's a couple of things that I feel make a great storyteller. One of those is building a connection with your audience, and I felt that you did that right off the bat by sharing that personal story with us, sharing your thoughts and your feelings, and that really allowed us to connect with you right off the bat. So thank you for sharing that personal story with us. Another thing I think that makes a really great storyteller is being able to hold our interest, which I also think you did a great job of. You started by asking us, some audience participation, have we ever been to a cemetery, which I think a lot of us can relate to, and then you made us feel the emotion of what that feels like to be there by reminding us and asking us, how did that feel when you were at that cemetery? And that really got us into that feeling and that emotion of what it's like to be there. You then went into the story of your brother and reliving that conversation with your mom, and I thought that was really great too. One thing I would encourage you to do next time when you are these different characters, really get into the character, even just a little bit more. Really push yourself to get into that persona and get into that character just a little bit more. So another thing I think that makes a really great storyteller is a satisfying conclusion. So in true scary movie fashion, you left us with a cliffhanger, which I also thought was great, because we are left wondering, is this spirit still around, or what was the outcome of that? And I thought that was really, added to the story of we just aren't sure and we're left wondering. So thank you for that. I also want to commend you. You really did a great job of not using any filler words, or not any that I caught, and that takes a lot of skill and a lot of practice, so great job with that. And I think that's all I have. Really tremendous job today. Thanks for sharing.
Thanks. Sorry. As a general evaluator, I have the opportunity to talk about today. What went right, what went wrong, and what we could do better. I didn't see anything going wrong today. I just really enjoyed being here with you guys, especially on a day like this where we can dress up and have a little fun together. I want to thank both Alice and Davin for their participation. Davin for talking about the other side, and how sometimes our parents lead us down that path. I know my parents did, my dad especially. He really enjoyed scaring the daylights out of me. Alice, Edgar Allan Poe is, I think, a great American master. So thank you for sharing this poem. It's amazing how a troubled human being can relate so much in so many words. So great job. I really appreciate it. My hope is in the future that each one of us can even participate a little bit more in Toastmasters and encourage others who unfortunately are not here today to come and step up, participate in any of these roles, and step forward in making prepared speeches, whether it's in the Communicator Series or in Pathways. So again, thank you for being here. Thank you for your participation. Thanks.
The reports, timer and off calendar.
Oh, okay. Darn.
That
Sorry.
is going to be the timer for Yana.
Okay.
Yeah, I can come on.
Yeah. For Marion, I can attest that I've heard the word macabre maybe 2 or 3 times. So you guys need to work on that. You need to work on your dark side. So work on it tonight when you're out on the streets. Okay. You want to talk about the club business?
Sure.
Yeah.